he's been a dog ever since that fight, you know. And yeah, so yeah.
And they say as soon as he pulls out of this fight, oh, he's a quitter, he's ducking, he's this they can't wait to say that, but it also just doesn't make sense based on the run he's on and the quality of fighters that he has beaten stopped.
I think, look, in some fights he has shown that he has shied away from the challenge in some situations, yeah. But in others, again, it swings and roundabouts with him. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, because in other fights he has proven bit down, like Hrgovic, for example, and got stuck into that where it was a back and forth fight. He was getting tagged a few, and he
adjusts, and you've got to go forward no matter what. So you want to go forward, and hopefully he recovers and gets better.
The lesson in that is, the fighters that are at home, that dip in and out of the gym, or they do this as a part-time thing, and they try and cheat boxing. You can play every sport in the world, golf, football, tennis, whatever. You can't play boxing because it's the only place, as Brendan says, you can legally get killed. So therefore you've got...
Shocking news hits the boxing world as Daniel Dubois pulls out of his scheduled clash with Fabio Wardley, claiming a sparring injury. While Wardley stays fully prepared and willing to fight anyone, Dubois once again faces criticism for stepping away at a crucial moment, raising doubts about his big fight mentality.
I'm pissed off as well, but shit happens, and it's one of them things.
Don Charles steps in to clarify the situation, confirming that Daniel Dubois is genuinely dealing with a serious injury. He insists this is not avoidance, and the plan is to reschedule the fight once Dubois is fully recovered. Fabio Wardley remains ready, keeping pressure on the situation and expectations high.
Yeah, he's changed. Of course he's changed, he's evolved. He's not the same fighter that I had.
Parker is scrapped. Dubois had to pull out due to an illness.
Johnny Fisher gives a blunt assessment of Daniel Dubois, questioning his overall skill level despite acknowledging his durability. This kind of criticism only adds more pressure on Dubois, especially now that Fabio Wardley is still ready and waiting. Wardley fans will see this as another sign Dubois is being exposed at elite level.
Daniel Dubois, he just can't really get right. He has no real skill. Pretty durable chin. Art is kind of questionable. But
Frank Warren paints a chaotic picture behind the scenes, admitting how sudden and stressful the situation has been for everyone involved. While he shows sympathy for fighters and fans, the bigger issue remains the disruption of a major heavyweight fight. Fabio Wardley's side will feel frustrated as Daniel Dubois pulls focus away from a career-defining moment.
Speaks to the people direct and then make a decision if he's out.
Okay. When did you first learn about this, Frank?
Very late this afternoon.
Okay, so it's been a stressful day.
To say the least. For the fighters as well. It's a shame for the fighters, for everybody involved. TV companies, and more importantly for the fans. Riyadh season, His Excellency, everybody involved with this. We're all gutted, but what can you do? That's
Eddie Hearn keeps it cautious, making it clear that the situation is complicated and still unresolved. His tone suggests uncertainty rather than confidence, which only adds to the tension around Daniel Dubois and his withdrawal. For Fabio Wardley, this delay feels like another obstacle in a fight he has been fully prepared to deliver on.
Dubois, we'll see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now, and it's a very difficult situation.
Liam Goff highlights the confusion surrounding Daniel Dubois' injury claim, with even details appearing unclear. This lack of clarity only fuels more debate in the boxing world. Meanwhile, Fabio Wardley stays sharp and unaffected, looking like the fighter more ready to step into the ring without excuses or uncertainty.
Seeing that Atema suffered some sort of ankle injury, maybe I was just seeing things with that one, but he is injured. It's not really specifying. I don't know why. I'm sure I saw it was ankle, but maybe not. Maybe I was just saying.
Frank Warren is laying out the harsh reality behind Daniel Dubois' withdrawal, and it is far bigger than just a missed fight. Months of preparation, full training camps, elite sparring partners, and full team setups all gone to waste. This is the business side of boxing that fans often ignore. But when you look at Fabio Wardley's situation, he has done everything right, stayed active and ready, yet keeps getting delayed by Dubois' inconsistencies. At this level, pullouts like this damage trust and momentum, and Wardley is the one staying professional while Dubois faces more and more criticism.
He's a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it, or if you do, You know, it cost a fortune to insure, but very, very disappointed.
Johnny Nelson is clearly frustrated with the confusion and misinformation surrounding Daniel Dubois' situation. 1 minute it is rumors, the next it is injuries, and then even bizarre stories get mentioned. This kind of chaos only damages credibility around a fighter preparing for a major showdown. Fabio Wardley, meanwhile, has stayed silent and focused, letting his work speak for itself. Fans are starting to question whether Dubois is being protected or if something deeper is going on behind the scenes. Either way, this uncertainty takes attention away from the fight and puts Wardley in an awkward waiting position.
Today, something popped up and we said it's fake news that the fight was off and all this sort of stuff was going on about some poisoning, scandal, foolishness, and they tried to shut this thing down. And I'm saying that's fake news. I'm not having that. So let's wait and see. If it's true, that's a shame. You'll have to get to the...
Johnny Nelson is actually backing Daniel Dubois here and pointing out that confidence and timing are on his side. On paper, this should be the moment where Dubois steps forward and proves himself against elite opposition. But boxing is not just about potential, it is about action and consistency. Fabio Wardley represents exactly that pressure test Dubois keeps avoiding due to injuries and setbacks. Wardley's team will feel this is another case of missed opportunity where Dubois could have made a statement, but instead leaves questions unanswered once again.
He's technically the better boxer. The better fighter is Daniel Dubois. And Daniel Dubois is at the right age, right part of his time. He's had the right run lately to go in there as a confident fighter. You know, fighters have to do certain things to get themselves to believe in themselves, believe what they're capable of doing. You know, that his run of last 3 fights has made this guy think, I can walk through walls. So this is the right time for Daniel.
Andy Lee adds another layer to this situation by suggesting injuries are common in fights of this level. That is true in boxing, but the timing here raises eyebrows. Daniel Dubois pulling out right before a major fight against Fabio Wardley makes fans question how serious or convenient this injury really is. Wardley, however, does not operate on excuses. He stays ready regardless of physical issues and pressure. This is why many believe Wardley is mentally tougher in this matchup, while Dubois continues to build a reputation of inconsistency at crucial moments in his career.
You know, you're likely to pick up injuries, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of these guys are going in there with some...
Spencer Oliver highlights the brutal reality of boxing where medical clearance decides everything. If Daniel Dubois is truly injured, then stepping back is understandable, but the timing still hurts the credibility of the fight. In the meantime, Fabio Wardley is left in limbo despite being fully prepared to compete. This is the difference at elite level. Some fighters wait on approval, others stay active and ready regardless. Wardley's discipline and consistency make him look like the more dependable fighter, while Dubois continues to raise questions about his durability and reliability in big fight moments.
Be okay, but he will have seen the doctor, and the doctor will make that decision on whether he should fight or whether he shouldn't fight. I mean, listen, this is the hurt business. You can only go in there 100%.
Adam Smith is trying to bring balance to a situation that is already turning messy around Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley. Yes, injuries and pullouts are part of boxing, but timing is everything. When a fight reaches peak hype and then suddenly collapses, it raises serious questions. Fabio Wardley is the one losing momentum here despite doing everything right in camp, staying sharp and ready for the biggest opportunity of his career. Dubois, on the other hand, continues to sit in situations where injuries or uncertainty follow him at crucial moments. This is not the first time fans have seen this pattern. Wardley's side will feel frustrated because instead of building toward a statement win, they are now stuck in uncertainty. Even though the fight business is unpredictable, consistency matters, and Wardley is looking like the more reliable fighter in this entire build-up.
Twice as big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens.
Ade Oladipo openly admits confusion around the Daniel Dubois situation, and that reflects how unclear everything has become in this fight build-up. When media members themselves are unsure about what is happening, it shows a lack of clarity from the fighter's camp. Fabio Wardley is in a completely different position here, because he has stayed consistent, transparent, and ready for action. The contrast is becoming very noticeable. Wardley looks like a fighter focused on performance, while Dubois is surrounded by uncertainty, injuries, and constant speculation. This kind of environment affects public perception heavily. Fans want certainty, especially for a major heavyweight clash, but instead they are getting mixed signals. Wardley's preparation continues regardless, which only increases respect for him, while Dubois remains in a cycle of explanation rather than execution. At this level, that difference starts to matter more than anything else.
I did know something about this. I would absolutely not say I knew anything about this. This is one of those ones that go over my pay grade, over my head, and over everything else. So I will, like most people, just wait and see how this plays out. It does sound a bit...
This whole situation around Daniel Dubois pulling out of the Fabio Wardley fight has completely shifted the heavyweight storyline and left fans frustrated because what was meant to be a defining clash has turned into delay and uncertainty. Fabio Wardley was fully prepared, locked in, and ready to prove himself on the big stage. But instead he is left waiting while Daniel Dubois once again steps away at a crucial moment which is starting to build a clear pattern in his career. Wardley represents momentum, hunger, and consistency while Dubois is now surrounded by injury claims and missed opportunities that raise serious questions about his reliability in major fights. If this fight eventually happens, the pressure on Dubois will be massive because all these doubts will follow him into the ring. But if Wardley gets his chance and wins, it pushes him straight into serious world-level conversations. Right now Wardley looks more focused and ready while Dubois looks like a fighter constantly interrupted by setbacks. So now it is on the fans. Who do you trust more in this moment, Fabio Wardley or Daniel Dubois? Drop your opinion in the comments and subscribe for more boxing breakdowns because this story is not finished yet and the tension is only getting bigger.